Proper maintenance of any piece of equipment not only gives it longer service life, but also makes it easier and safer to use. Good maintenance also makes the equipment more pleasant and profitable to use as well. Check the manual for any service and maintenance procedures and their recommended frequency. Before making any inspection, adjustment, or repair, be certain all power sources are disconnected and all moving parts are blocked out to prevent injury. Wear protective clothing and eye protection when making any adjustment or repair. The following are suggested maintenance procedures. Remove old wheel weights, old valve stems, and any other debris from all of the machine's work surfaces. Caution: do not use compressed air to remove dirt and debris from the machine. Foreign material may be propelled into the air and into operator or bystander, causing personal injury. The vertical and horizontal slides and the helper slides should be cleaned with a vaporizing solvent and then lubricated with chassis grease once a month. Check the adjustment of the mount-demount head once a month and adjust as necessary. To adjust tool head lift, loosen jam nut and adjust screw until lift clearance is 1/8 to 3/16. Tighten jam nut and check. To adjust tool head setback, loosen jam nut and adjust screw until setback clearance is 1/16. Tighten jam nut and check. The transmission in this machine is a sealed unit packed with grease and should need no normal maintenance. The tabletop clamp carrier, tracks, clamps, steel mount-demount head, and other working surfaces should be cleaned with a vaporizing solvent every month. Clean dirt and debris from the mount-demount tool roller with small screwdriver or pick. The rim clamps should be inspected and metal chips and dirt removed from the serrations with a wire brush once a month. Check the tire pressure gauge function daily and check the accuracy monthly. Use a pressurized tire and high-quality stick-type pressure gauge. If necessary, remove gauge cover lens and adjust the dial of the machine gauge. If the gauge is defective, have it replaced immediately. Check function of the pressure limiter weekly. Always reinstall the cover lens after adjusting the gauge. Make sure all fasteners are securely tightened. Make certain that all guards and covers are in place. Check for worn, damaged, or missing parts, including grips and protective covers. Replace them before allowing the unit to be used. On a daily basis, inspect the unit and check to be certain that all systems are operating normally. Detailed inspection and testing procedures are specified for various components at regular intervals. Set up a chart and assign responsibility for these items. Caution: replace any damaged or missing safety decals. They are available from Coates at 615-641-7533. Important: these instructions will help you maintain the tire changer. Instructions are for a person with some mechanical ability and training. Do not attempt to perform work beyond your ability or at which you have no experience. If you need assistance, call an authorized service center or contact Coates directly. Check oil and water levels regularly and perform these maintenance items weekly. Disconnect air supply to machine. The separator filter unit is equipped with an automatic drain and should not normally need draining. Add oil to the lubricator if the fluid level is more than 1/4 inch from the top of the gauge. Remove the filter plug on top of the lubricator and add SAE 10W non-detergent oil or an air tool oil to bring the level up to 1/4 inch from the top of the gauge. Replace filter plug and clean up any spilled oil. Adjust the oil flow with the black flow adjustment knob by turning the knob to increase or decrease the oil flow. Watch the formation of oil drops in the see-through oil chamber. Reconnect the air supply and continually cycle the bead loosener through full strokes and count the drips during the cycles. The delivery of oil to the airline should be about 1 drop per 10 cylinder cycles. Adjust flow as required. The pressure helps prevent inflation of standard size or larger tires or tubes beyond 60 psi to minimize risk of explosion. This device is for the safety of the operator and bystanders. Proper operation of the pressure limiter is essential to safe operation of the tire changer. Check operation of the pressure limiter as shown and described at least monthly. Remove tires and/or wheels from the machine. Connect the inflation hose to an empty service tank with the pressure gauge. Gauge should read 0. Use a certified tank with at least a 250 psi pressure rating. Depress inflation pedal to position 1 to start airflow through the hose and into the tank. Maintain a steady pressure for constant flow. Watch the rising pressure on the tank gauge and the gauge on the tire changer. The tire changer gauge should cycle between check and inflation pressures while tank gauge climbs steadily. As tank pressure reaches 60 psi, the pressure limiter should stop the airflow automatically. Both gauges should read 60 psi plus or minus 5 psi. Release inflation pedal. Check manual release valve function by pressing the button and releasing pressure from the tank until it reaches 50 psi. Disconnect inflation hose and release air inside tank. Replace pressure limiter if it fails to cycle properly during inflation. If it fails to shut air supply off at 60 psi or if it malfunctions in any other way, do not operate a tire changer with a faulty pressure limiter. Danger. Operating a tire changer with a defective, improperly adjusted, or bypassed pressure limiter could result in a tire explosion with severe injury or death to the operator or bystanders. Always be sure that the pressure limiter is present and is operating properly on the tire changer at all times. Danger. Never inflate tire above manufacturer's recommended pressure after bead is seated. Pressure limiter is set at 60 psi. Any required inflation above 60 psi should be performed in an inflation chamber or safety cage or securely mounted on the vehicle if an inflation chamber is not available. A tire explosion may cause personal injury or death to operator and bystanders. If you have any questions about the procedures shown, review this program again or consult the operator's manual. Remember, not every installation will go as smoothly as these shown here. If you have problems, back up and start again. Don't try to solve problems with extra force or air pressure that could damage the tire changer, tire and rim, or hurt the operator or others in the service area. Let's review some key points. 1. Review the operator's manual and warnings on the tire changer. 2. Always use bead lubricant in mounting and demounting operations. 3. Always check for proper size match between tire and rim. 4. Never exceed recommended air pressure in bead sealing, bead seating, or inflation. 5. Add air in short bursts and check the pressure regularly. Stand back from the tire during bead seating and inflation. 6. Take time to maintain the unit properly for safety and performance.